Hey, Billy Lodge, welcome to Encounters, Valley Lodge, I think it is Valley Lodge. Welcome, you're the first one on here. Greetings, JD, welcome to the show. This is Encounters, the spiritual UFO talk show. Kate Rulota, Bernie Bernard, Charles D. Walt, Sean T. Reeder, Amo Hunter, Donald Curtis, Anderson, Dar0201, welcome. Hey, Tommy. Squeakers, Elvira, Tommy, good to see you, Tommy. Deb, BMRZ, Misty, good evening, everybody. John Jones, good evening, everybody coming in here. This is CmdrAleon, host for 3 years of Encounters, the UFO spiritual talk show. Arts, welcome, Arts. Good to see you. Greetings, blessings. Joe Era, good to see you too. You just popped up on the screen. Yes, definitely. Hello. As soon as I see you on the screen, Joe Eric, thank you very much. Tommy, again, user 826, Queen MT. I'm going to have to get more apple cider. I just used the other half of my apple cider, so we're there. Randy, good evening. Denise Smith, and everybody coming in here. Stephen, Birds in Flight. You're watching Encounters, DI, everyone Marinee. MB Historian, that's a good name. They just made you call like you definitely know it. Know that. Thank you. Illegal something. I didn't catch all of it. So you're watching Encounters. LA Woman, Caroline Bowers, Cleo, my pets, out of control. Thank you for sharing the live. Good to see you, Bo. Sea Dog 23. You Jazzle. Christina, good to see you, Christina. Hello there. And we're going to have a good show tonight. They just made you cough. I should definitely know that. Yeah. And just good to have everybody with us. We're going to have a great show tonight. Jen P., thank you for joining. Everybody coming in here. So I do see you all. I'm just going to say greetings to everybody out there. We appreciate all of you being here on another night of Encounters. And we try to be here usually every night. Sometimes we're a little bit late, Ozzy, good to see you, or a little bit early. There's lots to always deal with in terms of topic. Hi, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Jen P., it has been a while. Welcome back. Greta, good to see you, Greta. Bobby Jones. Abtar, welcome. Lola. Daisy Dogs, good to see you, Daisy Dogs. Loretta, thank you for the heart me. We appreciate it. Nancy, welcome. Donna Armstrong. Johnny of the third kind, my brother. How you doing? Good to see you. Always, Johnny. It's been a while. I know you're busy doing what you need to do, and that's a beautiful thing, for sure. So good to have everybody with us. How do I feel talking to 10 people at once? Well, I'm talking to about 104 people at once. Yes, Cowboy, thank you for the heart me. Cecile, hello. I'm pretty new, but I've been enjoying the shows. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. All the new people are very glad to see you're all here. Now, I've got all my shows on YouTube, except I think the last one. I got almost everything downloaded, and I think we're almost completely downloaded with the last show being downloaded. So I think you have all the shows on my YouTube channel. You can follow me on YouTube. We want to get to 100,000 likes by 1 a.m. in the morning. So let's do it. Everybody tap on the screen. And if we collectively do that, we can make that happen. And hey, Bonnie Alice, good to see you. 777, thank you for the follow. 007, good to have you with us here. Hey, the Woodus. Hey, Marie, good to see you, sister. Much love to you, much light to you. We appreciate you. Let's see here. And hey, Lazio Hollyfeld, have you watched Age of Disclosure yet? A little bit of it, but I can't honestly tell you I have not. I've been so busy trying to keep up with emails and everything coming in. Gregio1444, I'm drinking my apple cider. Good for you. I have one glass left of apple cider. For people that watch this show, I'm in New England. One of my addictions, I think, is, well, not only think, I drink apple cider. So I'm addicted to apple cider, so please forgive me. That's my addiction. Jersey for life. we're going to show your video tonight. I got the video here. So we're going to do tonight. And it's a great video too. Let me just get in here. And she has a great video. I got to get out of this thing here. But tonight we're going to be, I'm going to get out of the spam thing here. We're going to definitely show a video that Jersey for Life recorded. And you'll see that tonight on the show. Let's see here. I'm going into my other screen. In a few minutes, we'll be showing that video. Oop, that's not where I want to be. I'm just on my other thing, my Apple thing here. And let's see here. And welcome everybody coming in here. Good to see you. Let's see who else we got here. Daniel, good to see you. Palladium Rainbow, good evening. I got a friend with Star Command. Hey, Anita. Very good. Anderson 999, hello. Alien Con. Alien Con's really good. I've never been there, but I know they hold it on the East Coast and a few other places. Let's see here. Loretta believes. Hey, Loretta. AZ Lightning Survivor. Terry Venus. Hi, Commander. Did you know what happened to... Hi, Commander. Didn't know what happened to you. I didn't know what happened to me. Now I do. Hey, Hetty. Good to see you. Elisa. Commander. Hey, Lisa. White Orchard Annie. Hey, how you doing? Great to see everyone, Johnny says. And it's great to see Johnny. Loretta believes. Lots of storms in Oklahoma. Be safe. And hey, Daniel, Anita, Outliner, they're going to hurt you. Who's going to hurt you? My pets are out of control. Did anyone see the fire at Henley College in UK? No. Mushrooms, good evening. Love your channel. Thank you, Mushrooms. And we send our love back to everybody out there. I tagged you in a post, Commander, of a friend of a supposed alien in the middle of human alien form. Interesting. I'd like to hear a story about that. Hey, Lawrence, good to see you, brother. Gigi Daniels, hey, good to see you. And Cape Town Mountains, I hope everybody's safe. You know, that's, I don't like to see anybody have these disasters come and, happen. Let me see here. We will do this thing. Oh, yeah, here we go. So we're going to be showing a video, and I wish I can expand it, but in a few minutes we're going to show a video from Jersey for Life, and you'll see these spaceships that are synchronizing their lights. It's really cool. Jersey for Life, that's a great video. I got to review it earlier, and you really caught something really good here. So we'll be showing her video in just a little bit. I got it all ready to go, and we'll do that in a little bit in our UFO video deal here. Thank you. Without the video, I wouldn't be able to show it. JNR, good to see you. Commander's all amped up here. Been doing a lot of meditation, reflections. I am amped up. Let's see. Edward Dreamwalker, good to see you. That's really cool. I wish I'd have some of those spaceships, like in where I am in Connecticut, in our small little town, just show up at like at 2 a.m. and start blinking out on the porch or something. Oh, thank you for the gift. Thank you so much. Kathy Thompson, thank you. You know, I think that's how I normally would look with a hat, like cowboy hat and a mustache. Yeah, I think that fits me fine. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Mindy. Hello, Mindy. Yeah, we're going to definitely, Susan Gotcha, have the fabric. I like that, Susan. Good title for your profile. Susan gotta have the fabric. You know? Hey, the original G1. We're doing well. I hope you're doing well as can be. Let's see who else we got coming in here. Good evening, Julie Harrington. Delilah. Welcome, Delilah. Hopefully, Little Butterfly. Good to see you, always. And Jojo Boo, Neil, Daniel Starr, always brother. Daniel Starr, good to see you, always brother. Hong Kong. And everyone coming in here, welcome. Richard, hello from Houston. Let's see who we got here. I'm just trying to catch all the names. Diago, welcome, Diago. Lynn, 948. Thank you for the club. Cheers, Lynn. I appreciate you. The original, thank you, everybody. Cindy Lou. I like reading Marenia Galaxy. My pet came back in. TDL, Betty Burns, PJ. Hello, PJ. Everybody coming in here. Wink. We're going up tonight. Are we going up tonight? Which reminds me, I think tomorrow morning I'm going to set the date for the May event. We're going to set we're going to do another journey off planet. We're going to definitely do another journey. Hey, Lexicon, Larry Allen, Tater Mike, or Mike Tater, Joe L. We're going to set up another journey off planet, a guided journey on my show here. I'll probably set the date for May. By tomorrow morning, I'll have a date set. I'll post it on TikTok. I know everybody enjoyed it. Hey, Greta, the last time I did these journeys, I do these journeys in my workshop where I take people to the Golden Ship of Light. It's a large ship as big as the planet Earth. It's a real deal. And everybody in my physical workshops have all experienced going through the Merkaba state to this particular ship. Yes, I am doing some matrix busting tonight. I've had plenty of time to meditate and reflect and meditate and reflect, and I am definitely up to busting the matrix. You know, and one of the things I want, and we'll get to this Jersey for Life's video, which is really good in a few minutes. I've come to the conclusion that I am very independent in my spiritual beliefs. And for now, conclusion, I am very independent in the way I operate. I'm not a person that is swayed by anything or anyone in the world, whether it be 3D stuff I see or anything else. I run my own thing. I go my own way. You know, I don't I'm not a follow the person, follow this, follow that. I will go the opposite way of the thousands of people that go the other way. You'll see me going the other way. I will do my own thing. And that's the one thing people will learn about me in life is that I do my own thing, you know. And I always teach people the same thing, to be independent, you know, to be cosmically independent and not to be part of anything other than love. And one of the things I really am key about in all my life's journeys, either in a physical environment or in an electronic environment, is that the most important thing we can be is love our brothers and sisters. This planet has billions of people on it, and not everybody on the planet is operating in love. When they create war in different countries, they don't operate in love. When they create hate, they don't operate in love. When they create jealousy, they don't operate in love. When they create anything that is a diversion from who we are supposed to be, which is love, it's all a diversion. So you always see me, whether I'm on TikTok or not on TikTok, I'm always consistently talking about, oh, well, you know, I'll see something on the news and I say, well, they're killing people in Gaza. You know, there's no love there. Why are people being killed? You know, why are people being without food? Why are people living in cardboard boxes? There's no love there. I mean, the people there want love, but there's no love being given to the people that are struggling or all these things. Hey, Peggy. So when I talk this way, understand I'm talking from my heart. I'm talking from my truth. Everybody has their own truth. Everybody has their own heart. I'm not talking about the physical heart. I'm talking about the spiritual heart. Now, if the whole world got in tune with the spiritual heart, we wouldn't have pollution. We wouldn't have war. We wouldn't have hate. We wouldn't have all these things, jealousy and greed. None of this stuff would exist. So as you learn about me, I cannot allow myself to be dragged down to the ground. I won't do it. I just won't do it. You know, if people want to see a world in peace, then we have to be the ones that are the peacemakers. If we want to see all this happen, what we have been projecting for years in the New Age community, in the Cosmic Age community, then we must make it happen. You know? And if you disagree with what I'm saying, tell me. If you think that we have to have all these things happen and have wars and people being jealous and greedy and jealous and whatever, tell me. You know? I'm about positivity. That's right. You know, I can't be around negativity. I just can't do it. You know, if you put me in a room with 5 people that are negative, I'll open the door and walk out the room. I don't want to hear it. You know, I don't want to hear it in my life. There's too many things we need to do on this planet. Too many things we need to accomplish. I spent a long time meditating. You know, I look at the world the way it is right now. There's so many people to be fed. So many people that are living in these cardboard boxes or living on the streets of New York, laying down on a cardboard box on Broadway somewhere. You know, just for an example. You know, we want to see this world that we're going to supposedly have, then we have to make it. You know, we have to make it, brothers and sisters. If we don't make it, we're not going to make it. I'm being honest. If we don't, in our consciousness and inside ourselves, be the bubbling light that we're supposed to be, how are we ever going to make it? How are we ever going to, you know, make contact with any intelligence beyond Earth? How are they going to react to us? You know, I mean, I am amped up here. How are we going to relate with each other? You know, it's real easy. You know, I remember when I was in school as a kid in junior high school, the kids used to pick on me. And one day, a kid put an egg salad sandwich on my seat. I saw him do it. I didn't sit down on it. But you would see, if you still saw me then in junior high school, that was the last thing the kid should have done. There were like 2 or 3 kids picking on me. So they didn't expect me to, you know, to stand up for myself, but I did. Because there was a bully mentality with these 3 kids. And these 3 kids were saying, oh, I'm going to, you know, they're going to do this thing. They would pick on me. And, you know, I knew I was a strong kid, you know, in junior high school, and I just didn't know. I mean, they got scared because I stood up for myself. Nobody should bully anybody. I don't care if they're an adult or kid. If we bully other people as an adult in this world, no matter where it is, then you need to sit down, meditate, and reflect on what you're doing. You know? And the way I look at it, if somebody doesn't like what somebody else is doing, walk away from it. Move on to something else. Don't get yourself engulfed in a circle and putting yourself in a locked box where you can't get out because you made that box, you made that circle, you made that jail cell for yourself. You don't have to live in a jail cell. You just have to move on. You know, if I don't like a TV show, I turn the channel. If I don't like a documentary, I find something else. But we as human beings get caught up in this drama thing on Earth with wars and everything else, that these leaders get friction with each other. And behind the scenes, they're having caviar and they're having the best wine in the world while they're creating all this conflict around the world. You know? Red Gents, I got bullied in elementary and middle school, see? You know, there's no place for it. And in our adult life, there is absolutely no place for it. There's too many big things going on in the world to spend time saying, oh, I don't like that person, what they're doing. I don't like this person over there, or that one across the street that's wearing raggedy clothes. We have to grow up. We have to become mature spiritual people. If we don't, we're going to have a planet in pieces. I'm being straight honest. If we don't, as a planet, get our act together, we will have a planet in pieces. It doesn't matter whether we have contact or no contact. If we don't take care of the planet, no space person's going to fix it for us. They'll help us, but we have to be the ones to make the initial change on this planet. We have to be the ones, and the train's coming through. Get on the train. That train is coming through. It's called the cosmic train. You got to get on the train to get to the other place where you need to go. If you don't go with the flow, then you won't know. You know I'm amped up here, right? You know I'm amped up here, brothers and sisters. I'm done with drama. I am. I'm done with it. You know, I'm just, like I said, I've said from my radio show to now, I'm here to bust the matrix. The matrix of thought, the matrix of the way we live, the matrix the way we treat each other. I'm here to bust it. Be who you are. Are you being who you are? Yeah, drama comes, Morgan, that's right. Comes from energy vampires. You know? Hey, Hollywood, good to see you, brother. You know, and I'm finding out, just like in the times a few number of years, this was really early on when I first got married. We lived up in Litchfield County. These two women came and they heard about me, and it ended up, one said they were a Palladian and all this stuff. The other one said she was an angelic being, all this other stuff. And they heard about me back then that I had some abilities. So no one was home. I was in the small house, and I said, sure, come on up. When I had the abilities to do healings and stuff even back then, back in the early 90s. And so as soon as I touched the woman, her true nature came out. This other woman freaked out, the Palladian woman, and she was really angry. I said, whoa, what's going on here? So she stormed out, storms out of the house, and the other woman is a slightly different energy. This other woman, hey, Jordan, they storm out, and they're starting to attack me verbally, and I'm saying, I'm putting protection around myself. I said, no, these people aren't who they say they were. The new age community type people. So I learned from that experience in my early days that people aren't always what they seem to be. If someone says, oh yeah, I'm this and that, and when it comes out to it, whatever I did when I touched that woman, her negative energy just came flying right out, Yeah, absolutely. I'm a good read. One of the things people learn about me as you get to know me, I read people like a book. I can read energy. I don't always say it, but I read energy all the time. Part of my ability as a kid is I read energy. I can sense energy all the time. If someone is trying to put a cover book on them saying that they're this lovey-dovey light worker and they're not, I'll see it. I'll see right through them. 2 minutes. Just by their words, their comments. Even on TikTok, I can do that when I watch things. By the verbal language or their comment, I will know that they're not who they say they are. Just by the verbal energy. I know, the energy itself. Yeah, hey, Lawrence. So I do that. I can sit here. Kit Kat knows me well. She's met me. I read energy. So if you are a loving light worker and that's what you say you are, and on this journey to where we're supposed to have intergalactic contact, then you better be that light worker everywhere you go. If you're going to be saying, I love you to one person and saying, I don't love you to the other person, there's an inconsistency in who you are. You can't just love one group and not love the other group. Either you love everybody or you love nobody. You're hearing it from me tonight, brother. I'll tell you, brothers and sisters, I'm just like, this has to be said. We have to know this. We have to speak this. I do a lot of interviews, but you never hear me speak really truly on things like this. You hear me interviewing people. Well, now I'm speaking on my show about something that I'm seeing in the social media realm, be it YouTube, Facebook. I see it there because I'm on Facebook. I'm here too. Either we are love or we're not love. We have to decide who we are as individuals. Are we going to be the people that are going to love each other, even with people's flaws? If people have flaws, we all have human flaws, but we still have to love that person. We don't know what those people are going through. We don't know what's in their life. We have not lived in their life, but we think we know their life, but we don't know their life. Does anybody know your life that's on here? Does anybody know my life? Do I know the life of somebody in Paris that's walking on the street? Do I know the life of that homeless person that's living on a cardboard box on Broadway in New York? I don't know their life, but I could come up to them and say, can I help you? Can I learn a little bit more about your life? Can I understand who you are? You see, that's what we don't do. That's what we don't do on this planet. Because I know who I am, because I know where I came from as a starseed, hey, coming to Earth was a big deal. Who knew it was going to be this kind of craziness on this planet? That there would be all these things happening? That there were going to be nuclear bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II? That people, you know, to get not to get graphic, but we know what happened at Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and the little kids, the napalm that was used in Vietnam, and the people that were affected by that, the nerve gas in the waters off New York, the stuff that the CIA did in the subways of New York in the 1940s. There's a lot of things we've done to our planet, to our people. Yeah, I'm definitely on a speech roll here tonight. You know, we're fired up here. And if you're willing to listen, you're going to hear the truth. I'm not reading from a script. I don't have a prompter. I have nothing but me and you. We're going to get to that recording, that video. Good, Bonnie. So, as a person that is truly a starseed, and if many of you, I know many of you are, our goal here, if you think you are a light worker, hey Kev Don, good to see you. Hey Susan, absolutely great to have you here. So I'm speaking some cosmic truth here tonight, and I want it to reverberate all over the planet. And that truth is, if you're going to be a starseed, if you're going to be called a light worker, if you believe that you are truly unconditional loving of all people and all things, then you must be that person wherever you go. Whether you're going on a trip somewhere on the ocean, whether you're going on a plane trip to Paris, whether you're just going down the street to the market, wherever you are going, hey Pink Tea, you must be a light worker. Hey, Sylvia Johnston, just got out of ICU. It's a miracle. Sylvia Johnson, my prayers and love and light go to you. My father-in-law was in the ICU, and he's now at a rehab hospital where I am here. He had a car accident, truck accident actually the other week. So I hope you're feeling better. Sharani mean? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, you know. I'll have to check that out in terms of the name, the word. Kindness is absolutely free. Takes nothing to just be kind. Morgan, absolutely correct. Kindness is absolutely free. You know. What I don't like, what I see is, hey Ashley, good to see you, sister. What I don't like is, I don't like attacking people. I don't like it. I don't like that because nobody is perfect out there on this world. Nobody is. We're human beings. We're not perfect. If we think we're perfect and the other person's not, or the other person is not the way we want them to be, we need to look at ourselves and see what we're doing to other people. We need to understand what we do to people, because what we do to people hurts people. Now, I'm not saying that we hurt people, but what we do to people many times is we hurt people. Now, it could be as big as Gaza, where we destroy people, men, women, and children. It could be as little as an individual person being attacked by groups of people, verbally, whatever. That's not being light. That's not being love. That's not learning and understanding their situation. We need to go beyond that level. We need to go to a higher level, you see? That's my key thing. It's always been the way I live. It's always been the way I act. Yeah, when no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. If I were, first of all, I would never say I'm perfect, because I'm not. I would say I'm imperfect. Because I know I'm imperfect, yeah, those I love that chime. Because I know I'm imperfect, I can at least admit it and say, you know what? That person's not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I know I can communicate with the other people that are imperfect too, and know that we're having a human experience in this crazy world we live in. Question, please. The future you came from couldn't give you good vision, not very advanced to be futuristic. So I'm gonna be, you want to hit me with that question, please? I will. So schizo. I have a very good vision of the future, and again, I have a very good knowledge of the galactic. So I'm going to answer your question. because she caught me on a night when I'm so amped up, I'm going for it. And so the future I came from was a future where the planet lived in harmony and peace. This planet that I came to at birth lived in disharmony and not in peace. The planet you are born on is a planet that has lived in our current lifetime with wars, nuclear weapons, all these things. My vision, you have no idea what my vision is, but I'm going to tell you what it is because you don't know. My vision is that our planet has the ability to become a very beautiful planet, a planet that lives in peace and harmony. I'm not afraid of questions like this. I'll tackle them right off the bat, brother or sister. I don't know which one you are, but, and I appreciate the question. So, yeah, I do see the planet living in harmony and peace. I do see us coming together, but at the same time, I can see everything around me. I can see there are people on the planet that are not living that way. There are leaders in the world that don't care about peace. There are people running governments that don't care about peace. We talk about contact. We talk about the space people coming to Earth and people and the space people being here. Well, the space people are living in our oceans. Whether you want to believe it, it doesn't matter to me. They are here. They're in our mountains, in Mount Shasta, in the city of Telos. They're in under the seas, under the oceans, in Tibet, in the Himalayan mountains. In the mountains there's an advanced base there of space people in the mountains of the Himalayas in Tibet. These things I do know. I don't read any books about them. I just know these things exist. So when you hit me with a hard question, it's not hard enough, So I got great visions for our planet. I have great knowledge of our planet. I don't have to read every book in the world or every website to give you that answer. I'm not, like I said, I'm not here reading a book or a prompter or going to a website right now for the answer. I'm answering you directly. I have no wavering in my comments. I'm not shivering in my comments. I'm speaking very, very true things here to you. Now, whether you accept what I'm saying, hey, you have free will. That's the beautiful thing about the universe. It's free will. You can say, oh, I don't believe anything. Fine. I accept that. If you do believe it, then breathe it. Then understand it. Make notes. Hey, Schizo, thank you for your question, man. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but Schizo, thank you for the question. I'm amped up here tonight, folks. Watch out. Sylvia Johnson, I need strength to be able to move. Had double. Oh, man. Sylvia, I hope you take your time. I hope you feel better. You just came out of the ICU. Take your time. You'll get better, but you need to take your time with it. And I send you my prayers and love, too. We definitely, Morgan says, we definitely have the ability to heal and heal our beautiful planet. Morgan, you're so right on your comments. We have the ability to heal and heal our beautiful planet. We all do. We do. Okay? Sylvia says, we are all one, but people don't get it. Sylvia, right on the money. We are really all one, but people don't realize unless they wake up that we are all one on this planet. Like I always say, and I've said it on my radio show, and I've said it through my workshops, we are Earthians living on the planet Earth. We're not Russians, we're not Chinese, we're not Americans, we're not Canadians, we're not South Americans, we're not Mexicans, we're not Japanese, we're not Hindus. We are Earthians living on the planet Earth. How many people out here, besides whatever country you come from, can say, I am an Earth person, I am an Earthian? So if you were to meet a space person that landed a ship in your backyard and they came out to meet you, would you say, oh, my name is so-and-so, I live in Japan. Oh, I come from Texas, you're in Texas. Or would you say to that space person, I am an Earthian? If we took you all off the planet, I've done this on the radio show many times before, I take everybody off the planet, or what you call Earth, which is what it is, and you're off the planet looking down. Are you going to see a country, or are you going to see a planet? Are you going to see a country, or are you going to see a planet? You're going to see water, land masses. You're not going to know what country it is, but you're looking at a planet. Now, when we look at Mars or Neptune or Jupiter, do we say, oh, what country are they? What country is on that planet Jupiter? What country is on that planet Saturn? We don't say that. Astronomers call it a planet because it is a planet. We're living on a whole circular planet called Earth. We're not living on America. We're not living on Japan. We're not living on Russia. We're living on a planet called Earth. You see what I'm saying? So if we can actually call ourselves, it's going to be a long battle. But if we, hey, Edward, thank you. If we can learn to call ourselves Earthians, that's the biggest step we can make. Once you stop saying, I am an American, patriotic American, I'm a patriotic Russian, I'm a whatever, if you can just throw that out the window and say, I'm an Earthian. So when the time comes when we do have contact with intergalactic people from other worlds, they can talk to us and we can say, I am an Earthian. My name is so-and-so from planet Earth. This is the planet I live on. This is not the country I live on. When you pick up some soil in the earth, does the soil belong to the United States, Russia? The soil is the soil of the earth. It has no country. When you go swimming in the ocean, does the ocean have a country? It's an ocean. It doesn't say, I'm the American Ocean, I'm the Russian Ocean, I'm the German Ocean, I'm the Indian Ocean. Well, there's a thing called the Indian Ocean, right? Man, am I amped up here. Yeah, you got the one. Yeah, in Lion Jest, that's outside. That's one of my favorite wind chimes. We have a little bit of wind tonight. Hey, Rachel, good to see you. Florida Real Estate, good to see you. It's been a while. And everybody coming in here. So I'm going to play this video. Hey, Archie Moore. Hey, let's see here. Like I said, I had a crazy dream about being there and finding stone tablets in the cave, leading a team there. Sharon says 3D is too hard. Loving your vibe. Thank you, Sylvia Johnston. Yeah, I'm definitely, when you see me, I'm up on the show here, folks. Watch out. I don't care who anybody is. If a troll comes in here, they will be out of here in 2 seconds. The way I am right now, no, the trolls won't last in a minute. I like it when you're amped up. Thank you. So I'm basically screaming to the planet Earth, hey, Rockstar 20. I'm screaming to hey, Tricky Dick. I'm screaming to the planet Earth, will you please come in here and listen? Get out of your shell. Get out of your ego. Get out of who you think you are or how important you think you are. No one's really important, really. The word important means that we have to be important. Then does that mean the other 10 people aren't important? Well, we're important. Well, the other 10 people aren't as important as I am. Who cares? Who cares who's important? Hey, Johnny. Johnny knows I'm amped up tonight, brother. Hey, Rachel. Elaine, good to see you. Mark Moore. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're all cosmic dust. Hey, George Hard, good to see you. You forgot your cider. I love my chimes. When it's windy like this, I got this chime about less than a month ago. I love the sound of the chime. So Johnson says, just smile and say something nice to each other. It goes a long way. Good to see you. Good to see you, George. Bird Lover, good to see you. Thank you for joining my gift, joining my team, Cleo. Yeah, we're busting the matrix tonight, Johnny. I am just at the point now of no return. What does that mean? The commander will not settle for anything but love from our planet. I want people to love each other. If you don't like each other, then don't connect with each other. Move on to something else. There's plenty of room in the sea for everybody. Antica, hey, Matthew Lewis, good to see you. Plenty of room. No one is forced to do anything they don't want to do. You see, that's the one thing about free will. No one is ever forced to do what they don't want to do. If you're doing something, you've agreed in your life somehow on some agreement to do it. So don't come running to me and saying, Commander, Commander, Commander. If you are doing something, I didn't make you do it. Nobody made you do it. You're doing it on your own. Whether it's getting an ice cream cone that you said you didn't want to get, but you had to get the ice cream cone. No one told you to get the ice cream cone. No one told you to order a big steak in a diner. You saw it on the menu. You decided to free will go for that steak. I didn't tell you to get the steak. You know? Yeah, chimes do. These chimes have frequency. Hey, sorry, good to see you, brother. So what I'm saying is, I'm done with all kinds of conflicts. People do what they do because they end up doing it themselves. Nobody forces people to do it. No one drags somebody in and says, oh, you got to do it. You're going to do it. And then you're upset with yourself for doing it. Hey, you made that decision to do it. So don't blame anybody else but yourself for doing it. Hey, Danny, good to see you. Definitely. I'm going to show this video. If I can get here we go. Jersey for Life has a video here. Debbie, you collect wind chimes. Really good. Hey, Maureen Walsh, good to see you. KK29. Patricia Moore, good to see you. Jersey for Life, we got your video here, man. I want to show it out on the show here tonight. We're going to definitely amp it up here. I have to go back to the video because I was just looking at it. Let's see here. All right, now, folks, I'm going to turn the light out here, and you're going to see a video in a second here. And I just had it queued up too. It was really crazy here. Let me just get this thing going here for you. Hey, Bobby J. I believe there is outside of the earth. I believe life is outside the earth. How could there not be, however? Bobby J, you're absolutely right on the money. Not only is there life outside the earth, there's life all over the multiverse. That's the beautiful thing, Let's see here. So I got the video. We're going to turn the light off for a minute. Actually, we're going to show it to you right now. And this is Jersey's for Life's video. And I want to show it to you. And you're going to see it doing some really cool stuff here. All right, let's just do this here. This is from Jersey for Life. Let me see here. Can I make it bigger? I'd like to make it bigger. Well, anyway, here it is. Or is it here? You can see it right here. We go. This is really cool. Look at these lights. They're synchronizing two of these spaceships. I call them orbs for spaceships. This is great. This is a great catch, Jersey for Life. Check that out. Look at the way they're blinking. I love when ships can synchronize their lighting. When they synchronize like this, it's really amazing. Look at them. There's like three of them. There was two. There's a third one that came in for a minute, I think. Yeah, this one. There's the two there. Good catch, Jersey. Good catch. I'm going to go back to. This is UFO video time. Thank you for the gift. Okay, we're going to get back into the screen here. Oh, wow. But that is a Jersey for Life. That is an excellent video that you got there. I really think that was good. Book Lord says the fundamental flaw of that is people are forced into actions they would rather not do. In some cases, excuse me, that would be true. For you to sit there drinking apple juice and say you're from Mars is nuts. Really? Really? You mean a person that comes here in human form that's from Mars cannot drink apple cider? And number one, correction, Bobby J, I'm not drinking apple juice. I'm drinking apple cider, just to let you know. Just for you don't want to let you know, Bobby J. Good evening, Anita Garcia. Francis, thank you for the hand heart. Okay, Bobby J, the dude from Bobby J, is now going to be going off planet. Bye-bye, Bobby J. You know, I don't get upset. I just send him off planet. I send Bobby J out of the world. He'll never see me again. This is what I'm saying. You know, no one's forced to watch me, especially somebody like that who's a troll. The trolls can go into outer space. You see how I dealt with that? Very calmly. Bye-bye. There you go. Thank you, Tricky Dick. I was just waiting for the moment to see what he was going to do. Hey, Sylvia. Hey, everybody. You know, yeah, he says it's not, I blocked him already, but I see he said, you can't tell people that you're pulling things out of them telepathically. It's not fair. So as you can tell, when somebody is not educated, you don't pull things out telepathically out of a person because that's communications, has nothing to do with removing implants. But he's gone, so there you go. And all of you know me, and that's the other thing I want to talk about. I want to also really, since I'm so amped up here, I'm going to say it the way it is. So I have, and all my stuff is documented. Hey, Yogi, if anyone thinks that I don't have the ability to remove implants, if you don't think so, then you've not been watching me long enough on this show. And it's not me telling anyone that I've removed implants. It's the people that I've worked with all over the world, right on my program, taking out the implants. I have taken out implants. My pet's out of control says, I'm not sure if they're orbs or planets. Interesting. Well, I like Jade, welcome. Yeah, and there's too many witnesses. Too many people that have watched my show continuously have seen me with numerous people that I've taken out implants. Oh, my pet, thank you for the videos. I'll have to take a look at it after I go off my live tonight. And that's part of my mission work. I've been able to do certain things before I got on TikTok. You know, I'm not like new to this whole thing. You know what I mean? Gabby Morales felt it when I did it to her. You know? So if you're out there, don't think the commander can take out implants from anybody around the world. I've done it. I've done it. You know? Hey, Xana, you know, when you are you and the group of five going. So the way I look at that whole thing, if it's supposed to happen, it will. Right now, I want to live at the best moments of my life here with my audience. I want to really be focused. If anything happens, you know, it'll happen. You know, the way I look at it from my perspective in meditation, when the time comes, if that is to happen, I'm ready if something happens. Something doesn't happen, I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to go on doing what I do on Earth to help people. But I hope it does happen, you know? Who amped up the commander? I need to block him. You know, it's just one of those things. I am at the point now where there's too many people recording things around the world to say that we're not going to have something happen. There's too many events happening. There's too many people, even on TikTok, recording, just like Jersey for Life. These particular non-terrestrial spaceships are appearing all over the world. Why are they appearing all over the world? Why are there these things being recorded? Why are people seeing things on cruise ships over the ocean? Why is it all happening now? Does anybody want kind of tell me why we're seeing all these things? Is it happenstance? Is it just a fluke? And can we say that there's nothing that's going to happen on our planet? That there's nothing that's going to be, just completely jaw-dropping change? Are we never going to have? Do you think we're never going to have contact out there, people? Do you think that we're just going to be the same old planet in the next 5 years? Something is happening. Something is definitely happening. If you don't think it's happening, you need to meditate and open your eyes. After you get to meditating, you need to take a look up at the sky. You need to go on a beach at night along the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean or wherever you are and watch the waters for about 2 or 3 hours and tell me nothing's happening. Tell me nothing's happening. If you're really a skeptic, you're not going to believe anything's happening because you've been trained to be a skeptic. But there are things that are happening. Yeah, they're getting us ready for contact. If anybody can argue with me and say to Commander, I don't believe you. I don't believe we're getting ready for contact. I don't believe anything's happening. Then you've been putting your head in the sand too long. You need to pull it out, open your eyes, and look. I'm amped up when I'm talking this way because I don't care. Oh, wow. Leica, we should we should talk about it. Hey, Norzora, Elk Hunter, Linda, good to see you. User Butch Green, Gulf Breeze, Florida. Yeah, historically, Gulf Breeze, Florida, there was a book about Gulf Breeze where there were these spaceships that were being seen back in, I think it was the 70s or 80s. Bruce Hale says, not everyone is meant to be open-minded or see things as far as it is. Bruce, you're right. Not everybody is. But for the ones that are, maybe they can help nudge the ones that aren't. Oh, yeah, Lacey, good to see you. Half Pint, they have connections at Anunnaki. And then up in the Appalachians. RDS Sunshine, I would truly like to know your perspective. Do you believe Jesus was and is a starseed child? Let's bring that question up. We're going to bring it up. That's a great question. I randomly bring people up with things like that. So come on up, RD. Be a guest on the show. Speaking of which, I do have apple cider. I'm going to drink a little bit of apple cider. I love that question. RD, I love your question. Thanks
Thank
for being
you.
up. Yeah, definitely great. Can I bring you on camera?
No, I'd rather not. Thank you.
Okay, we'll respect that. When you do want to come on camera in the future, as you get to know me, I will not bite, and I'm just glad to have you here. So,
Okay.
your question about Jesus is great. Would you truly like to know your perspective? Do you believe Jesus is a starseed child?
Yes, I would like to know that because I'm very spiritual. I love God. I love Jesus. I just feel like everything's so confusing.
Mm-hmm.
I watch different TikToks and, study different things, with the Bible and this and that. And I just feel like it's very confusing. One person interprets it this way, one interprets it that way. One takes it literal and says, if you do this, you're going to hell. And
I know, right?
so, like, my base heart is I have love for everybody, I have empathy for everybody. Um, Sometimes I don't like what they've chosen or what they've done or the acts they've done. But I asked that question because I just wanted to see what your point of view is.
Okay, and I'll give you a really very honest, direct answer. I don't have to look at any books or anything. So Jesus in the 3D world, and in the teachings of the Bible about him and the Hollywood movies about him are somewhat incorrect. So first off, Jesus came here as a starseed, just like we are. He came to Earth to have the human experience, but he came with fully activated abilities to do things like heal people, do all these things, he was really truly a space being. He came in as a baby, just like we would when we have human parents. So let's say, for example, RD, you say, I'm a star seed. I remember where I came from, but I have human parents, and now I have these abilities to heal people, do things, and you go around doing it, and people say, "Wow, she's doing it." So look at Jesus as being misunderstood. Jesus is actually a space being. It flies in the thing of only people that believe that he is some religious icon that should be on a cross with nails in him. That's not the Jesus. That's Jesus. Jesus came here when he came here to try to bring love and understanding, just like all of us are. So in a sense, if you look at yourself, you believe in love and Jesus and your understanding of Jesus and his concepts of love. Jesus came here as a star being to provide us with an understanding of unconditional love, which we didn't get because we had wars over the centuries and thousands of years of different things going on. So, in terms of the answer to the question, Jesus is actually a living person that has a family, just like we have families, but he lives off planet. He is very much alive, but not in the way the 3D world looks at him. I would say, if you ask most of the people on here, we understand Jesus, and we also, Jesus represents a Christed frequency of consciousness, which is something that the 3D religions don't understand. So I also talk to myself and others here. I am a Christ conscious human being. I work in Christ consciousness, which is what Jesus operates in Christ consciousness. So my perception of Jesus for many years is that in relationship to who he was, who he is way different than the way it is presented in the 3D religious world. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yes, thank you. I
Yeah, I
appreciate
know it can be
it.
very confusing, but
It,
I break
it
through
it's
all.
like very
Yeah.
contradicting and confusing, and it's just hard because like I said, I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power. I believe in a lot of different things, and I see so many people just like pointing out words that were written in the Bible, and to me it
Mhm.
seems very contradictive, very like you're
Yeah.
going to hell.
Oh yeah, those
Like if
people,
you
the
eat lobster,
the
you're going to
thumpers.
hell. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and if you slip up one time, you're gonna suffer for it, but Jesus loves you.
Yeah, yeah, that's the
It makes it
religious Bible
confusing.
thumpers. Yeah, it makes it confusing. So the good news is, I'm glad you're here. You're going to be addicted to the show. I actually jumped into being a born again Christian at one point to study that, and I ended up speaking in tongues. I heard people speak in tongues. I said, that's interesting. So I went with my Venusian friend. She wanted to go to this church when she was visiting many years ago, and they spoke in tongues. And I ended up learning that I felt like I was speaking Chinese. That wasn't Chinese, but then when I spoke in tongues, I said, "This is not a religious thing. These people have no idea what the speaking in tongues is. It's an ancient language from the stars." But they thought it was a religious thing. For me, when I had the experience of speaking in tongues, I left that. I went there just to experience that for a day or two, and then I didn't stay. I wasn't there to become a Christian in this religious grouping of people. I went there to see what that speaking of tongues was, and it has to do with a star language. It has nothing to do with religion. But in religion, they'll think it's a religious thing, but it really isn't. So I experienced that. I've experienced being different religions in my growing up in my life, and now the only religion I have is the religion of love. That's the only religion, and that has no confines to a church, a mosque, or anything. My religion of love is the galactic religion that all the space people live by from other planetary systems. And that's the love that I have in my heart for everyone. So I do believe in Jesus, but I don't believe Jesus in the way 3D world teaches him to the people.
And I also feel guilty sometimes. Like I've been around different religions in my life, Catholic, Mormon, you name
Mm-hmm.
it. I used to go to a Unitarian church, which where I felt the most comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
and emotional with because it just seemed it was more spiritual than
Yeah.
the brimstone and But I also feel like, and this is sometimes what I worry about, like, okay, so I'm questioning things. Am I going to be condemned because
Oh
I'm
no, you're not going to be
questioning
condemned.
things?
No, you'll never be condemned,
I know I
Cindy.
have a good heart. I know I'm full
Yeah.
of love. I love animals, humans, you name
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just my heart.
Yeah. Don't get knocked into. You'll be condemned to going somewhere else if you don't do this. Uh, you have to throw that. It's a concept that's ingrained in us. Throw it out of your mind and understand what I'm saying is free yourself of that belief system. Allow yourself to now flow in the flow of the Christed light in a cosmic way versus a religious way.
Right.
Um,
And I
it's
think
very
I
different.
have before, but somehow I fell back into it.
Yeah.
Probably
Well, fall
because
back
of
out.
circumstances around me or what have you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's right, Rachel. It's not a physical place. So when you look at Jesus from a non-physical reality, it's a consciousness. So
Right.
Jesus is a consciousness. Jesus physically as a being exists, but also it's a consciousness. So Jesus is a Christed being. You're a Christed being. We all can be Christed beings, but we
Right.
have to break out of what we've been taught on this planet in order to be that cosmic Christed being. I'm really big into that. You'll
Right.
see me all the time talking about Christ consciousness because that is the way to peace on earth is through Christ consciousness. And you can be whatever you wish to be. You don't have to worry about whether the people think anymore. Who cares what people think? Just be who you want to be and be free of all that dogma and just be who you want to be, which is a loving cosmic Christed person. That's it.
Right. Like
Simple.
for me, I believe we're all little pieces of God or whatever you want to call it, experiencing it for
Yeah.
that source.
Yep.
But
Absolutely.
somehow I got knocked off that, and then I questioned, like, okay, am I right or wrong? Or and
Sometimes
you've
sometimes
answered the question. I'm just
I'm good.
venting here.
No, I want you to vent because I don't control that. I want you to be who you are. Vent if you wish to vent because that's the way we get rid of all the stuff that has been, clogged up in our system. Now that you've vented it all out, now you've transformed that venting energy to knowing that if anyone tries to pull you off the mountain as you're climbing the mountain, that's just one of the things I always say. If someone tries to trip you up on your journey, don't let them trip you up. Just keep walking on top of the mountain. If they want to try to pull you down the mountain back into that 3D thing, just tell them, hey, I'm not doing that. I'm going up the mountain. If you want to stay here, you can stay wherever you want. I'm going to go up the mountain, right? So you do what you want to do. You be who you want to be free as you want to be, and be the cosmic you that you are.
Thank
There
you.
you go. Thank you. I couldn't have answered that question unless you were out here on talking with me. So I appreciate you, and I'm following you too, by the way.
Thank you. You have a great night.
You too. And I'll let you come down and watch the show. And everybody, RD, thank you so much. This is the way we operate. I am so amped up here tonight. Watch out. This is the way we operate. I mean, I had a long time to meditate when I got home tonight. And I listened to my answers within me. And what I'm speaking of is the truth. I don't look at websites for information of how to say things. I speak it the way it is. Stars going on top of the mountain. Beautiful. Christine, good to see you. Who's in my queue here? Ah, okay. We're gonna bring up our brother. He's been on before, friend of the show. So we are amped up, brothers and sisters. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
We are doing good. We've been so amped up tonight.
Yeah, you're a busy man.
So how are you doing? What's happening in your world tonight?
Just been busy. Spring's hit, and that's all good around here. But you know, I used to watch the news a lot more than I am now because I
Yeah.
understand that nothing matters. None of it matters. It doesn't seem that even the person in office, none of it matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just been waiting for the skies to open up so I can wear my shirt that says "I told you so" and it has the alien head on
I like that. I like that.
it. I mean, what do you think on a timeline here? Do you think people are ramped up and at least ready to taken something that's undeniable in the skies?
That's a great question. I think on the 3D world, people are getting riled up about the way the world is being led by by different governments. On the cosmic level, where we are, all of us, including yourself and me and everybody else here, equally, we're getting. I can tell by if I did a poll of everybody on here and said how many people are amped up and know that something major is going to happen. I would say 90% of my audience here would say yes. I believe something's going to happen because there's something happening. It's happening in our skies, like I said earlier in the program. They're coming out of the oceans now, throwing themselves. Um, Something major is getting ready to happen, and it's not coming from hey, there he is, and people from channeling or people from saying on Facebook, 10 people saying I'm channeling Oshkosh, and Oshkosh says every year we love you and we're going to be there. I think what we're happening now is even like Daryl Anka and Bashar, who's the SSINI person, and Daryl Anka has been doing this before there was any internet media or TikTok.
In
They've been doing it for years.
90s, yeah, or before.
You know, so he's way before anybody had the word channeling in their consciousness. He was communicating with the SSINI, and I think their information before I came on here, listening to his contact information for the SSINI, I think is accurate. He's one of the few people that I will say is accurate, and I think that our governments know that we're getting ready for contact. That's why they're acting the way they are on the subject. And they don't want it to happen, but I think they do know internally that there's these things happening. They're monitoring them. Naval ships off the coast of Florida, seeing these orbs and this big orb that they're watching because they're coming out of the ocean. They're spaceships that come out of the ocean from space bases.
Of course, they're going to use AI to say that that's generated and that's generated, but go outside, people, lay out on the lawn for a little bit and see what you see. I wanted to ask you, I had this feeling that the disclosure, the awakening may not be something that we see or witness.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel maybe it's a combination of them, but what I'm feeling is like it's almost like a psychic upload that we're all going to receive all at the same time, almost like a hard reset button, and our DNA coming active, talents coming back. Do you think, I don't know, what's your thoughts on that? And would that be more spread out? It seems like right now, myself included, I've noticed some of my abilities coming to a new level.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe for a lot of folks out there too, but I feel like there's a hard reset button. Like you have to get up, go over to the game console and actually hit it.
I think it's a gradual thing. I think gradually people are going to start witnessing things. Some of them, even on here, people are having personal experiences. For whatever reason, that person, guy or gal, is being visited by space people physically, whoever they are around the world, India, maybe Scandinavia, or the United States. There are people that are being visited, and I'm sure there are people in here, 260 of them. Out of 260, I can't tell you who it is, but I think some of the people in here who have not come forward yet are actually being directly visited by space people in their homes, in their condo, in their house.
Up there that's not registering on that, right?
Right. That's right. And, I'm not saying everybody here is being visited because that's not happening, but there are people in this room here that are watching this show that are being visited. There are people that wish they were being visited, like Kazoo. But there are people in here that are not sure whether to come forward and say they're being visited. And I totally get that. I respect that. It's a big deal.
I mean, if someone at my work is watching, hello, yeah. What do you have to gain in that society by coming forward? Right. I get it. I'd say that the majority of people have something to share, and also the majority of people won't share.
Right, they do.
So what does that mean then?
And my
reality completely.
What does that mean, Sarah? So what does it mean? Like if we could get people to come out of their shell and say, oh, there are people here that want to hear my story, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to tell them I have a man and a woman that came off a spaceship visiting me. Now, all over the world, whether they have TikTok or Facebook, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
There are people all over the world right now, there are billions of people. I would gather, not being psychic enough to know this, there are people right now being taken on spaceships as we speak.
Oh,
They
yeah.
could be in a village somewhere in the mountains of the Himalayas. They could be in Africa. They could be anywhere. They're being taken on a spaceship. We can't track where they are, but I know, honestly, with billions of people on this planet, there's been no way that someone's not having contact right now. Somebody out there or some buddies are having contact. We all know it. They might not even have a telephone.
In the levels of contact, there is, I believe, contact going on right now with us.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
community. I
that's
think it's
right.
pretty popular out there too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pretty good
You
show.
know,
Like
you know,
witnessing the awakening
the
as
awakening.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
real.
I think you're right.
It's real time too. So that's pretty
Hmm.
exciting.
It
I was
is.
wondering,
Uh,
and I want to make you feel uh, awarded for your efforts and time and talent. But I was curious if you could kind of give me maybe a little snapshot on s- um, one, my star family, and
mhm.
maybe defining some of those areas. And
Hmm.
I curious if you might be able to just kind of do a quick snapshot on um, my my energetic field, however you look at that,
Hmm.
how
Hmm.
do an intake on a soul.
Yeah, and that's a different thing. I don't think I've done that really much, but I'm sure I can do it. I just never. This is where I have to be with all my abilities that I have. This is something that will be something I believe I can do. I just have to let myself do it and not question what I do. If I start questioning it from here, then I start saying, "Oh no, you can't do that." No, I'm going to turn the brain off, like I tell people to do, and I will do that. And I'll close my eyes. Now, if I close my eyes, it just means that I'm focusing on you. So I'm going to try that right now. I'm going to definitely scan you. And I actually don't have to even close my eyes. But this time, I'm going to scan you with my energy just to scan you to get a feel as to where you came from. This is something I've never done before. So I'm going to do this now. And as you feel the energy, let me know.
I do.
But now I will close my eyes and I'm going to focus on where you came from. What I'm seeing is a vision of a beautiful planet. I'm trying to clear my vision to see it better. And it appears to be there are mountains similar to Earth, very similar. Lots of people there. You're from the Andromeda star system. Lots of people I saw for a minute. Many of them have very beautiful hair. They're very peaceful. I got a vision of that and the landmass. I'll let you meditate on that for a while. That's what I was getting. Some other things are coming into vision, but I really wanted to focus when I finally saw the landmass. I wanted to focus on where that was, and different words were coming into my consciousness, but the Andromeda star system.
I've had it drop.
I also got to say that I did see, this is interesting, that Sharon, you said Lyran. I did see at one point a space being that was human, a female that looked kind of a cat face, very beautiful.
Yeah.
And that came into vision too. So very interesting, Sharon, you said that, because I do think that we don't have to be from one particular planetary system. We could be from more than one system. So Andromedan and the Lyran sounds very, very correct.
And I think I'd shared that with you on one of your lives where I
Yeah,
had,
you did.
yeah. And so it's interesting. It seems that a lot of the contact that maybe I've had has been from multiple selves or different expressions of my soul.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how people think we've been from one specific planet. Now, I know I'm from Mars, but I do believe I'm also from another planet besides Mars in my life, in my multiple galactic life. I don't think I'm just constrained to one planet. I think we've had other experiences just like you, the Lyran, and a connection at some point with the Andromedan star system.
It's amazing. No, it makes sense when you said Andromedan. It also happens to be my favorite plant. I was a landscaper, the Andromeda.
Yeah, it's very much, very strongly. The feeling of energy I get from that for you is very strong right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And if you're up to it at a later date, maybe you're on one of your lives in the future. But I'm curious if you have a take on uh, implants or anything that's
Mm-hmm.
been introduced or.
Are you asking me if you've had implants?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, how do you feel about it? See, you have a very peaceful energy.
I feel yes and no, and I feel like some have been deactivated already, but um, uh, I think there's maybe an error that needs to be removed, almost like
Mhm.
something that of that sort.
Well, I could do right now while we're on the show, I could do a scanning,
If you
and what'll happen is I'd be happy to do that while we're on the show.
okay,
I can do a scanning for you now, and what I'll do is I'll send an invisible beam of light energy into your body as I scan you, and I will, if there is an implant in you, I will. How should I put in earth words? I will actually hit the implant gently. You'll say stop, and I will take the implant out that's in your body if it's there. So I'm happy to do that.
thank you,
I can do that right now.
thank you.
So we're going to now um, do a scanning. Keep your eyes closed. Take a deep breath in. You're going to breathe in and out of your nostrils about 3 or 4 times. Okay, and as you do that, again, I'm going to have a different kind of energy coming through, and this energy will track the implant if it's there, and I'll be able to destroy the implant and take it out. And this is encounters. Oh, let's see what's going on here. Wait a minute. I gotta put my thing back in here. My thing came out of my phone. I have to put it back in. I'm at 5% power. Wait a minute. Good thing I put that thing in there. So now the power will go back up. Okay. So we're going to let you get resettled.
Yeah, I gotta lower the desk here.
No problem. As long as we can see your face, that's the important thing. So as you close your eyes, relax. Take a deep breath in. What he's going to do is take a deep breath in a few times and breathe out. What I'm going to do once he's ready and he's relaxed, we'll begin to scan him for an implant. If I find the implant, I will remove the implant and I will destroy the implant.
I think it's the floor. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to close my eyes for just a minute. Get relaxed. We'll do the breathing exercises first.
Thank you.
In a minute, I'll be shooting beams of light in his location over his head. I think you can feel the energy now. Okay, good. I'm now going to scan him. And as I scan you, brother, when I hit the implant, tell me to stop. I'm going down. Take your time.
There.
Right there? Okay. I'm going to neutralize the implant. We just found the implant that he's talking about. Give me a moment. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm not closing my eyes because I don't want to look at anybody. Give me a moment. I'm focusing on things here. I'm going to now neutralize the implant in his body. I'm going to sever the implant first, and now I'm going to pull the implant out. As I pull it out, it will not hurt you. You're going to feel me pulling it, but it's not going to hurt. Keep your eyes closed. I'm pulling one side of it out that I severed. As soon as it comes out, it'll be like a little pop. When it's out on this side, let me know. Almost. 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 Now I'm going to yank it out here. I'm going to shake it as I pull it out, and you'll feel the shaking, kind of a vibrational thing, and I'm almost out of that part of the body, and I'm going to take the other part of it out now. I'm going to pull it and shake it. This is not something that's hurting him. It's slightly a tingling sensation. Almost out, almost out, almost out. Tell me when. Oops. Okay. Okay, let me destroy the implant. What you've seen me do here, folks, this is all being documented. I am destroying the implant that was in his body. It is no longer there. Give me a second. Okay, brother, how do you feel? Yeah, it was right in the lower part of the upper part of your chest area. I took it right out.
Right.
It's gone.
Docker, you nailed it. It was like a block there of sorts.
Yeah. No, it's out. There's not. I don't think there's any other implants in you. That's where the implant was. That's why I was moving my palms of my hands right and left around that area.
That's where the Lyran had his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you.
You'll not be blocked anymore. And now you'll be able to have your cosmic dreams with the Andromedans and the Lyrans. You'll be able to communicate in time. And I'm operating right now in space consciousness, just to let you know. When I did that, I switched from my talk show host consciousness to my space consciousness, being that I am a space being in my consciousness, but I'm also a human being in my human consciousness. So I can operate and switch back and forth.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Blessings to you, Sarah. Good to have you with us, brother.
I'll see you again here. Thanks
yes.
a lot. Appreciate
Give us a big smile before you go.
Thank you.
Look how he's glowing now. Look how he's glowing now.
It's yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, you're a blessing, man. You are. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, brother. And I'll see you out there too.
Absolutely. You know it.
I know.
And we're going to bring him down. So right now, if you've never seen me do this, I am what I say I am. I do what I say I do. I don't have to prove anything on my show. I am able to take out implants. You know, someone says, Commander, prove it to me. You just saw it right now. My guest who asked me this question are the people that I work with. And if they ask me to do it with their permission, I will take out the implant. And I have. Lilith, the way you would know is if you were scanned. Well, first of all, if you told me that you felt something in your body that wasn't there the night before, then that's a possible implant. Let's see here. Tell us, can I tell you if you had an alien abduction? Child therapy, is it a monitoring device? Yes, many times, child, the implants are a monitoring device. Yeah, Tay, if you had more followers, I can probably, Tay, when you get up to about 50 followers, I'll be able to bring you on here. So if everyone follows this person and they get to 50 or 60 followers, I can bring you on audio. You're very welcome, brother. My pet's out of control. So I would have to know a little bit more, my pet, about you. If you had any experiences where you felt like you were being visited by ETs that weren't that great. If you tell me a little bit about if you had any experiences in your life like that, I then would, by your information, I can tell by scanning you with the proper information from you whether you had an implant or not. I'm just going here. Melanie, this is interesting. I'm going to bring Melanie up here. I want to hear that story. Melanie, I want to hear about you being chased for 20 minutes. That's amazing. I want to hear that story, folks. Got to hear that story. Good evening,
Hello, how
Melanie.
you
Welcome to
going?
Encounter. We're doing good. How you doing?
Good. I'm just will quickly preface saying I'm in Australia and I need to pick my kids up from high school in about 10 minutes, so I'll try and
Oh,
be as
wow.
quick as I can.
Okay, go ahead. I can't wait to hear the story.
Okay, so we're going back. It was over 20 years ago, and I was traveling in a car with my boyfriend, who's now my husband, and sister. So my sister was driving, and we were traveling down the, you guys wouldn't know in America, but what's called the Hume Highway. And I was in the passenger seat, my sister was driving, and then my boyfriend, now husband, was sitting in the back. So at some point he kind of said to us, pointed something out in the sky and said, oh, hey guys, like, what's this? There's something strange in the sky. So anyway, it was to the sort of right of him, so out the back window. So we had to kind of turn our heads to look, and we couldn't really see anything that majorly grabbed our attention. So we actually started laughing at him and poking a bit of fun, and said, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like looking for UFOs, and was having a bit of making fun of him, thought it was a bit funny. Then it was about 15 minutes later or so, he was like, no, really, what is that? So anyway, we have another look, and this time it's much closer, but still like not really sure. It was like at that point looked like quite a white sort of metallic, I guess, sort of metal, like the
Yeah.
sun was sort of shine, reflecting off it quite brightly, but it was still a fair way away. So we're kind of looking at this to go, oh, could it be this? Sort of thinking, what it could possibly be. But as we were doing this over sort of about a 5-10 minute period, it was actually coming closer. So we were starting to go, oh no, it definitely can't be. It's definitely not a plane. Clearly, it's the wrong shape. It can't be a helicopter. It's not a weather balloon. And so we were trying to, going through all the things that it could possibly be, and then. we started to get really quite worried because, as I said, it was getting closer and closer, and it was like really and it was like, oh, what the hell is this thing?
Wow,
And then
yeah.
disappeared in an instant. And then,
Oh my
as I said,
God.
our heads were turned, and even my sister kept turning her head. She's driving. It's a
Yeah.
straight highway though, so she's kept turning her head, but I could have my head turned. But we all had our head turned when this thing just disappeared straight in front of our eyes. In the time it took us just to turn our heads just back towards the front of the highway, it was in front of the car, like this massive, about half the size of a football field,
Yeah.
metallic disc, like
Oh
a
wow.
huge big
Boy.
UFO in front of the car, up high, but still like
Yeah.
very close, clearly visible. It was absolutely, to be honest, it was absolutely terrifying. I was 19 at the time, so I was very young. I was technically, I was still a teenager. I
Yeah.
absolutely freaked out. I was terrified.
Wow.
I started I had a panic attack. I went
Oh
into
no.
full hyperventilation mode, and then it disappeared again. And then we were like, I actually said, thank God that is over. Like I was, as I said, terrified. Then it came back a third time, and this time it was hovering on the right hand side of the car. And
Oh
as
my
we were
God.
flying down the highway, it was then just hovering on top of the car. And my husband in the back told my sister to,
Uh-oh.
sorry, my battery was low. My husband told my sister to pull the car over. And I don't know if I won't swear, but her exact words were him, F off, I'm not getting
Yeah.
abducted.
Yeah.
And she literally put her foot down, and we were flying down the highway
Oh my God.
with this UFO hovering above the car. Then this light flashed a couple of times, and then all of these lights come on around the bottom of it, and we
Wow.
watched it as it went straight up in the sky and disappeared.
Oh my gosh. Now let
And
me
that
ask you a
happened.
question.
Yeah, sure. Ask any questions you'd like.
Did you have any missing time? Did anything weird happen besides? I mean, that to me, if that happened to me, I don't know what I would do. I might get out just to see, being the person I am, to see who they are.
Yeah, no, I was, as I said, I was young and I was terrified. We
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
missing time, and we were able to verify that because we had been travelling from Canberra to our hometown in Albury. So we had kind of a rough destination time, and we sort of knew the time it took to get from, it was about a 5.5 hour drive, but we were only about an hour out from our destination, not quite, when this happened. So we didn't lose any time. As soon as we got home, I know that,
Hmm.
I mean, people think it's crazy, but I actually rang the Air Force because I was like, I have to do something. There's no way this thing wasn't caught
Right.
on radar. So the first thing I did was ring the Air Force, and I
Oh
spoke
my
to
gosh.
someone and explained what we saw. And he said to me that he would put it in his logbook, and hung up on me. So I
He
didn't
hung up on you.
really take me seriously. But yeah, it was definitely I'm just very grateful that I had two other people with me. Otherwise, you're just trying
Right.
to go through that on your own and not having two other people go, yeah, no, we were there, we saw the exact same thing. And
And
obviously, yeah, sorry.
was the spaceship the flying saucer? Did it look like a flying saucer type object when you saw it?
Yeah, yes, it was definitely that type of what they call that tic tac shape.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Seeing it up close when it was right in front of the car, it was a very luminous type of whitish metal, as I said, but there were no joins in it. Like there was
Yeah.
it was one solid sort of piece of this type of metal. There were no joins, or there was nothing in it. It was quite a slick sort of yeah, I guess shape. Um, but yeah, so that was that that was our experience. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean that was, and we had no, like, this is going back a lot, a couple of decades ago. So I've always said, if iPhones had have been around at the time, we would have had the most incredible footage because it was over such a prolonged period of time, and it wasn't just lights in a night
Right.
sky, like it was
Yeah.
daytime. We saw this thing, but there was no. I mean, back then phones were great big bricks that that had no cameras on them. So unfortunately, we weren't able to sort of get any footage, but it's still it's still drilled in my memory, and and for the last couple of decades I have studied the supernatural, and I went right into anything and everything I could find on
Oh my
UFOs
gosh.
and
Yeah.
metaphysics, and it just propelled me on this life trajectory of going, what the hell is actually
And
going on
you know what,
here?
Melanie, what year was that in Australia when this happened? What year was that when you were 19?
Okay, well, it would have been 1999 or 2000.
Okay.
Because,
Just a
yeah,
rough idea. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's an amazing story. Could you imagine if that happened to you at this time in your life and you're on that road now and you just like, I'm pulling over and that thing is like right there hovering and you got a video recording of it? That'd be pretty cool.
It would be very cool. I would definitely handle it a lot differently than I did back then.
Yeah.
Because,
Yep.
and the interesting thing is that it wasn't, my family and my grandparents and my great grandparents also had encounters with UFOs. So
Oh,
as a
really?
kid, yes, and as a teenager, I had heard them talking about it, and I just sort of laughed it off. And I was like, "Oh, really, Nan and Pop?" Like it was, and it wasn't that my grandparents and great grandparents were very upstanding people. I never knew them to be, liars,
Right.
or, they were very, very much actually quite pillars of their community. But it was
Right.
just such an outlandish thing that I heard as a kid. It was just like, oh my gosh, like that's just so weird. But they both had encounters, and
Oh, wow.
separately and actually together. So they lived in country Victoria, very, very rural. And this is going back obviously quite a long time ago.
Oh,
And they
wow.
were travelling on a dirt road near a town called El Dorado. So this is dirt. I mean, there was very, the population even now is tiny. And they actually said that they had one hovering and following them, and that it actually landed and they had to slam the brakes on. Otherwise, they would have
Oh my
actually crashed
God.
into the thing.
So
Yeah.
the spaceship, we call UFO, the spaceship landed. And when it landed, did these beings get out of the spaceship, or did the thing land and
Well,
that was it?
no, they didn't get out of they didn't get out of the spaceship, and then they backed up apparently and took off. But then after my great grandparents had passed by then, but I did ask my grandparents after this had happened to me, and I did some research. I'm like, did you guys lose any time? Like, how do you know like exactly what happened there with this UFO? I quizzed them
Right.
because I'm like, how do you know something didn't happen?
Right. You know what? And some people made comments. It is a generational thing, sir. Thank you for the gift. It's a generational thing. I've heard people on here who have had encounters with space ET beings, and it's been generations. Like they'll say, my grandmother told me a story, my grandfather told me a story, or my mom and dad told me a story when they were kids. So it is a generational thing. Why it is a generational thing, I don't know. But the fact that your grandparents had that happen, I'm wondering if their grandparents had that happen, like a generational thing through the decades.
Look, absolutely, yeah. And afterwards, when I was doing the research, I realised that seems to be a phenomenon that it does. My mum not missed a generation there, not my mum. She claims to have never seen it herself, but definitely my grandparents and great grandparents. So yeah, it's very, very interesting, isn't it? Why that phenomenon seems to take place, because yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm not claiming to be abducted or anything like that. I saw the thing,
I know
but
you're not. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not, I'm not claiming that that there's any other, that I've got some hybrid babies out there. I got no probing done.
Now, if you did have hybrid babies, if you have missing time, you would say, Commander, when that thing was above me, I lost time in about an hour of time. So you had no missing time. Evidently, whoever they weren't trying. They were definitely following you for a reason, but they didn't take you or abduct you out of your car or anything.
That's exactly right. And look,
Yeah.
it's very hard to separate that intense adrenaline and fear factor that was going on, because one of the
Mm-hmm.
freakiest things that I remember when I was in front of the car and I was looking up at this disc, this spacecraft, was this unnervy feeling of being observed back. You know that eerie feeling when someone's looking
Yeah.
at you and you look and you feel someone looking before you
Yeah.
actually see them. I had that very intense feeling of being observed,
Yeah.
and that it was a very, very unnerving feeling. And so I didn't get the feeling, and I'm not someone who thinks that all interdimensionals or aliens are negative, because I mean it's
Right.
kind of obviously it's be like humans, like you get the whole gamut of, some are good, some are bad, some are neutral. But I got this feeling that I got a quite a menacing feeling from them, and I've tried to separate, what was it, just my fear coming through, was it just that I was in absolute shock, so I can't
Yeah.
say for certain.
You could have been just, Melanie, scared of the unknown, and sometimes it's hard to differentiate between having fear of something because you're afraid of what it is, it's unknown, or whether it really is an intelligence of space beings that are there to try to do an abduction scenario. But it would be hard to know that because if you're 19 years old, you're freaking out over this thing. If it had been hovering over you and you pulled over, it was still hovering, and you say, I'm not afraid. I want to find out what this is. And then you just sit there and meditate for a minute, feel the energy of the spaceship. You would know whether you feel comfortable or not comfortable with it based on your feelings.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. And I actually must have been about 8 years ago, 9 years ago now, I actually went to see a hypnotist because the experience was so clouded with
Yeah,
fear and adrenaline and everything. I thought, I'd love to actually be regressed and be more of an observer and just, relive the experience from more of an observation standpoint without all of that, emotions and fear going on.
yeah.
So I did a lot of research. I went to Sydney and found a really good one and paid a lot of money. And unfortunately, I couldn't be hypnotized, not by him anyway. So I didn't end up getting any results from that. So yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. But look, thank you so much for having me up. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I just come
See,
across your
well,
live and put that in the
I'm very
comments.
spontaneous, Melanie. I'd like to. I know you had. I know you said you weren't abducted or had missing time. I'd love to one night have you back on and see if I can scan you for possibly any implants.
That is extremely interesting, and I'm intrigued. So yes,
Yeah,
why not?
yeah. When you have more time with the
So
kids and
can I just
everything,
ask
but
you a really quick question?
yeah.
You are able to read energy signatures. Is that how you do it? I'm not familiar with your page at all,
You,
so I'm
you mean
not sure
you mean
how
of
you do that.
how I figure out if you have an implant?
Yes.
I scan your body remotely from Connecticut, where I am in the United States. I have a beam of light that will touch your head, and I'm able to scan your energy. Once I feel the aura of your energy, I then will send energy into your body when I do the scanning. And what will happen is I'll go very slowly around the head area, then I'll check all the other areas, and then you'll tell me to stop and say, that's it. And I'll know that's where the implant is, and I'll feel it, and then I'll take the implant out of you if there is one and destroy it.
That is very, very interesting.
Hmm.
There you go.
I
All right.
started
Well, look,
doing
I'm just
this
going
about
to
a
give
year
you a
ago.
follow.
Yeah,
I've just
yeah.
given
No,
you
I'm
a
following you
follow.
too.
All right.
I'm glad
No
you found
worries.
me.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Everyone have a
you're
great
you're
day or afternoon.
you're amazing. You have a great afternoon. It's right now about almost 1 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, have a
So
good night then.
and you'll have a good day with your kids for sure.
Appreciation. Thank you so much.
Everybody, Melanie, thank you so much for coming up here.
Thanks
All right,
again. Bye bye.
and we'll bring it down. Very interesting story. And the next time I have her up, we're going to do a scanning of her to see when she was 19 if there was an implant, because that the thing was hovering over her car. There could have been missing time. She wouldn't remember it. And it could be that she does have an implant. We don't know. Coming up to about 12:43 in the morning at 103,800 views, 800 likes. We've had 4,400 people viewing the show since after 11. 4.4 thousand. 4,400 people have been watching the show throughout the night between time we got on till almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to see who's in the queue here. So we're going to kind of slow it down a little bit here. Man, almost time for another evening. I'm going to make sure that the last show from the other night is already on the YouTube channel. Everybody, please follow me. Just press the red follow button and also the like button. On here, we've already hit it. Thank you, everybody. We got to 104,400. Yes, Rogue, I have a little bit of apple cider left. The thing is, I'm afraid I'm going to have a withdrawal, like a meltdown. So if I have a meltdown on no apple cider, don't worry about it. I will not freak out, people. I will not freak out. Hey, AAA Poet, good to see you, brother. Barbara Chapman, welcome. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired now. You can tell. I'm going to slowly go from being hyper to being very, very mellow. Lee Girl, welcome to the show. Marinee, welcome back, Marinee. Where'd you go? Apple cider has too much sugar, would make you tired and sleepy. Hey, Coach Hollis, you're absolutely correct. And I do drink water on the show too. One of the other things I drink is a regional lemonade called Dell's. It's from Rhode Island in the here, and it's one of the really good natural lemonades called Dell. Victoria, good to see you. I think it's time for me to call it a night. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love you all. Be love wherever you go. Treat people with love, and that's the main thing. Keep your eyes to the skies, of course. For spaceships, don't drive while you're looking up at the sky, else your car might go off the road. Don't do that. Everybody, take care. We'll see you tomorrow night on another edition of Encounters.